Hello guys, so in this video we are going to say this problem, unique length 3 palindromic subsequence. So what it is saying here is, given a string S, return the number of unique palindromes of length 3 that are a subsequence of S. So here you have to keep this in mind. This is the keyword unique and it is of length 3 and it is a subsequence. So what it basically says is it should be unique. That is, if there are multiple ways in which we can get a string, like suppose B, B, A, B, A, B. So if you can say this, if we take this palindromic subsequence 1, 2 and 3, so we'll get B, B, B. This is of length 3 and it's a one of the subsequence. Now if we take this 3, 1, 2, 3, so what we'll get, b b b again. If we'll take this 3, 1, 2, 3, we'll get b b b again. So all of these three will be considered as one. So that is why it is said unique. Palindrome, you know, length of 3, that is the number of characters will be 3 and it should be a subsequence. Now here it is saying what is a palindrome is like the string that reads same as forward and backward. So a subsequence, the definition here is a string is new string generated from the original string with some characters, can be none, deleted without changing the relative ordering of the remaining character. So this is what subsequence is. So this is what the question says. So if you see here in the example double A B C A, so it is seen double A B C A. So what are the subsequence that we can get which are palindromic? So if we can see this, this and this, these three can form one of the subsequence. Now we can see this A B A. So A B A again forms a subsequence. Now see, we have taken A B A. We can't take this A, this B, this A, because that will be the one that we have already taken. So it should be unique. Okay. Now we have A, C, and A. A, C, N. So these are the three palindromic subsequence that we got, and this is our answer. Similarly, with you can see with other example here we don't have any subsequence with palindromes. So let's see now how to solve this question. I'll take this as an example and explain this. So before going to the solution, let me just explain you a bit about this. So what it is saying is the key word that I asked you to remember was, you have to remember that this is a 3 length substring. 3 length. So what it does mean is there will be 3 characters present inside the string. Suppose this is C1, this is C2, and this is C3. And this is saying that it should be a palindrome. That is, it should read the same from the forward as well as from the backward. So from this you can see if it should read from the front, forward and the backward same. So this C1 and C3 will always be equal. So what we have got from this conclusion is C1 will be equal to C3, and second, C2 can be anything, can be anything. So what we can get here is, this is the condition, these is the two conditions that we will take and build a solution upon it. Okay. So let's see this example here. So these are example B B C B A B A. So what we said here is the first and the last should be equal. So if you want to find out the maximum number of substring that we can form, maximum number of substring, so you can get the idea, like the first and the last should be same. So if we find what is a particular character, suppose ch, and what is the maximum length, or you can say the last of this character where it lies. For example, if b is here, what is the last position at which b appears? See, this is not other than because b appears here. This is not last because b appears here. So this is the last position. So between these last two position, we have to pick up only one character, because this is while forming 3 length, these two are removed and we are left with only one. So we want only one character in between this thing. So, and that one character should be unique, because if we see, if it is not unique, we can pick this b also. So what will be our resultant? Triple b. If we pick this b also, then also our answer will be triple b. So these two are not same, we have to consider these two as unique. So that is why I said we have to pick up only the unique characters in between this particular substring. Okay, so that we have to do. So this b is now how many unique are there? One, two. This is how we have already taken three. So between this b, c, b, a, there can be three unique characters. So what our answer will become? B. Then those three characters are b, c, a. So our subsequence with three length and this palindromy we can become b, b, b. These two are these two, then B, C, B, or B, A, B. So we can get 3 out of here. Okay, understood. So this is how we are going to proceed. We'll first loop over this array, find out for each character, like suppose for each character, suppose A. So what is its starting and what is it end? For B, we'll store the same start and end. C, start and end, and then we will loop over this particular array and we'll see. Okay, for A, this is the start and this is the end. So we'll go into the string that we have from the start to the end. We will iterate over this particular array and we'll search how many unique characters are there, and that many unique characters will form that many subsequence. Okay, now if you see the time complexity, so you might know that okay, we are iterating over this particular array again and again, so the time complexity will be more, but you have to keep in mind that the number of characters that we have here is fixed. It's 26 at max. Okay, so out of those 26, so if even for each of those we have to iterate over this particular array, so the maximum number of time complexity will be like n for one iteration for one character, so there can be 26. So at max you have to iterate 26 into n times. So if you see order of 26 n, it is equals to order of n. Okay, so the time complexity will be order of n only. Now let's see the code to get more clarity about it. Okay. See here, we have created a 2D array indices with 26 rows and 2 columns. So you can see here, this is used for storing the characters and the initial and the end index. Okay, so this is 26, this is 2, this 2. Okay. This 2. So that is what we have created here. We have initially filled everything with -1, -1, -1, -1, everything -1. Okay, continue this -1, -1. Now what we are doing here is we are iterating over the length of the string, like from here we are starting, and for each of the characters that we are getting, we are first checking whether that particular character has the starting as -1 or not. If it has starting of -1, we will put that particular index there, so that will mark as start of that particular character. Okay, for example, let me clear this thing. Here it should be C, not B. Okay, so currently we are moving to B. So we have got our first character as B. We have done character of B minus character of A, so it will give us the value of 1. So we will go at this 0 index, this is 1 index. So we'll go at 1 and we'll check the first of that whether it is minus. So it was initially -1. So we'll put the starting index of this 0. So here we have put as 0. Then again we'll go over loop again. We'll see okay, B is there again. So we'll check okay, this character is B, that is this value is 1. So at 1 of 0, that is not equals to -1. So we'll go at this position and we'll put the value of 1 here. Again we'll iterate, we'll go to C and we'll see okay, this value initially it was -1, so we'll put the value as here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll put the value of C starting at 2. Again we'll come here, we'll see okay, the value of initial point, that is start 1, is it 0 for C? No, it is not. So we'll put the value of 3 here. We'll again come here, we'll put the value of A similarly 4. Then again we'll come here and we'll see okay, B 5. So we'll check B of 0. So the 0 of B, that is the start of B, is 0. So it is not equals to -1. But then we'll put the value of the index at that particular position. So here in place of 1, we'll replace it with 5. So this way we'll get the maximum range of 2 same characters. Okay, so this is why. So for A, we have again got here 6. So now what is our final array? A, we have 0, sorry, we have 4, 6. B, we have 0 to 5, and C, we have 2 to 3. Now we'll whatever now we have got this thing. So now for each of this thing we'll iterate over this particular string. So we'll keep the index as like index of 0 plus 1. Why we are doing plus 1? Because when we get this through particular string B and B, suppose, so we want to see what is the unique value in between these two, not including these two. Okay, so that is why I have done like left plus 1 and right minus 1. So we have reached here and 1 point just before this. So in between this we will count like is present. I have created an array. So this is a length of 26 characters where A represents the 0, B represents the first, C represents the third, and for and initially I have initialized all of them with 0. Okay. Now if the character is present, like if we start from here B, so we'll do character A minus A, so we'll get at 1. So the value at 1 will replace it with 1. Now we'll go C. Okay, C is also present. We'll replace its value with 1. Okay, C is again present. So we'll replace this value again with 1. So 1 will remain 1 itself. Okay. Now we'll get value of A as 1. So here 1. Now we have reached the end and we'll exit the loop. So when we exit this loop, what I'll do is whatever the total count that we have, for that total count, I will do the sum of the values that we have got here. So whatever the unique characters will be here, those many values we have to add to our total answer. So that we are doing is we are doing a stream, and then from stream we are doing sum, and we are getting 3. So we will get total is equals to 3 when we have for B. When we have for A, we'll go from here up till here only, and we'll do this plus 1. So we'll add 1 also here, so we'll become 4. Now if you see for C, it will start from 2, so we'll do 2 and 3. This is the range. So we'll do left plus 1, so it will 3, and we'll do right minus 1, so it will be 2. So if you see this condition, this particular condition doesn't satisfy, so it will not go inside the for loop, and everything in this is present will be 0. So the total count will always be 0. So we will get no result for this C1. Okay, so we have like 3 plus 1, 4. This is the total number of substrings that we can get for length 3 that are palindromes. So this way we can get this answer. Let me submit this code as well. So you see this is the same code I have provided here. Let me submit it. Hope it should run. Yeah, see, it has run. And now this code, this particular code, this link for this particular code will be provided in the description. If you have liked the video, just hit the like button. Thank you.